News Channel 5 on your site presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. The annual Cleveland World Festival is celebrating Northeast Ohio's more than 100 ethnic groups. That's going to be Sunday, August the 2nd. Executive Director of Famicos Foundation, John Onolifo, is here with us to tell us more about the event, which takes place in the Cleveland Cultural Gardens, among my favorite places in all the world. Then we'll hear from the Cleveland City Councilman, Zach Reed, who will share information about the annual Family Unity event in the park. It's going to be in July as well. That's going to be at Luke Easter Park on the city's southeast side. And on the broadcast as well today, Captain Rick Fryan, president of the Good Time 3, the good ship Good Time 3, will tell us what to expect this summer on the Good Time 3. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with John Onolifo, Executive Director of Famicos Foundation. Good to see you, John.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to be with you.
Always good to see you, my friend. You're getting ready for the Cleveland World Festival?
Yes, sir, we are.
Yeah. Tell me what that is now.
It is a celebration of diversity in Cleveland, celebrating the more than 120 ethnic groups that comprise the community in Northeast Ohio. And it is a get-together for people to come and sample what is good about Glenville.
And this is the third year, I understand.
This is the third year we are doing it, and we're doing it in partnership with James Levine, who is a local entrepreneur that has done wonderful things in the city.
Yeah. Why is it you think it's important to celebrate all these more than 100 ethnic groups in Greater Cleveland?
For one thing, a lot of us haven't traveled outside of the city of Cleveland, and bringing all these ethnic groups together gives us the opportunity to taste the food, to look at the clothing, costume people wear, to enjoy the sporting events, and to get to meet the people themselves that you may not meet since you are not going out of the city.
Among all these ethnic groups, we find that we are different, yet at the same time we find we're all the same.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to be talking about the Cleveland World Festival, as it's called. You are putting this at a most remarkable place on the planet, the Cleveland Cultural Gardens. I don't think there's any place like the Cultural Gardens anywhere on the planet Earth. Tell me a little bit about why you decided to do it there in the Cleveland Cultural Gardens.
The Cleveland Cultural Garden is a gem. It's an asset that is very underutilized in the city of Cleveland. It is the largest park in the country, second only to Central Park in New York. And it has amenities in it that, again, you cannot find anywhere else in this country. There are 30 parks right now that have been created by each of the individual ethnic communities. 8 of them are still in construction.
And they run roughly from the East Shoreway all the way to University Circle.
Yes, sir.
On Martin Luther King Drive and also on East Boulevard on 2 different roads, a higher level road and a lower level road. But they run parallel right through the Glenville area. It's going to be Sunday, August the 2nd.
Yes.
What are we going to see when we go to this Cleveland World Festival?
And when you come to the festival, you are going to see foods of the world, beers of the world, music of the world, peoples of the world, and games, entertainment of the world. There will be a kids tent with magic, with badminton, and they will be having water slides.
What's your overall vision for the Cleveland World Festival?
The overall vision for the Cleveland World Festival is that it will be an event, a unique event that attracts people from all over to come down to Glenville and enjoy the nature that you find in the cultural gardens, not just once, but to make it a place that people can come every day of the year.
One of the things I like about it is the flag of the peoples that are represented there. The flag of Italy, or the flag of Lithuania, or the flag of Germany. They all fly over these. It's like a small United Nations.
Yes.
But for now, I grew up, you know, as I was telling you before the broadcast, I grew up for 17 years. I lived 10 houses away from the Italian Cultural Garden right there in the Glenville area. My mother and father bought a home there, and my sister and I were raised in that home. And so we were in the Cultural Gardens all of the time. It truly is a remarkable place. Now, this starts at 11 o'clock in the morning and runs on into the evening, right?
Through 9 o'clock in the evening, and we're going to be closing Martin Luther King from St. Clair to Superior Avenue. And there will be soccer games, 2 soccer courts on MLK, and then, like I talked before, you are going to have the kiddies tent.
And where do people park?
People will be parking at the VA, and the VA will be providing shuttles that will bring people from the VA to the Cultural Garden and then back. And one other important thing I would like to add is that this is the 25th year that American with Disabilities Act was approved, and as a result of that, we're also including certain arrangements that would make the event more accessible for people that have disabilities.
Well, that's great. We'll park our cars at the Veterans Administration Hospital right in the heart of University Circle, and you'll provide shuttle bus service on into the Cultural Gardens. And right there in Rockefeller Park. It's going to be Sunday, August the 2nd, starts at 11 o'clock in the morning and goes until 9 o'clock at night. The Cleveland World Festival. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful time. It always is.
Yes, and we look forward to seeing everybody.
That's the name of that tune, including everybody.
Yes.
That's why it's called the Cleveland World Festival. Many thanks, John, for being on the broadcast. John and Alifo, we appreciate it, from Famiko's organization, the Famiko's Foundation. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. We'll hear from Councilman Zach Reed. He's got a big event taking place as well. We'll talk with him after we do this first. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. I'm Liam Bibb, and I'm glad to have you with me today. Family Unity in the Park is on July the 25th at Luke Easter Park in Cleveland. Councilman Zach Reed is the host of this annual event, and he's here to talk about who's going to be there and what we can expect. Good to see you, my friend, Councilman Zach Reed.
Always good to be here with a legend.
Oh, you're the legend. You're the legend.
In my mind.
Well, we both, in both our minds. Zach and I talk all the time. We run into each other at all kinds of events, including at City Hall, where you're doing your job as a councilman there. But here you're talking about Family Unity in the Park, which is going to be at Luke Easter Park, which is on Kinsman Road in the southeast side of Cleveland. Yeah. What do you expect for this year, and what's it about? What's it all about?
What's it all about is bringing families together, generations. We bring young people in strollers to the teenagers to their mothers and fathers who have seen these groups. I mean, this year we've got Stephanie Mills, we have the SOS Band, we have Evelyn Champagne King. I mean, these are the national acts, and then we have local groups that are coming. And it's just to bring all the families together. About 2 years ago, we put together a kiddie park.
Yeah.
So now the kids get to come out and they get to ride the rides. They get face paintings. The Metro Parks comes out. It's just a great event for the entire family, starting at 1 o'clock, goes to about 9:15, and then because Luke Easter Park is the largest urban park in the state of Ohio, we're able to fire off fireworks, and then we fire off the fireworks. So it's just a great
It's a wonderful time, all night long, all day long. Starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and goes until 9. And that's on July the 25th.
That's correct.
And what day of the week is that?
That's going to be Saturday, July 25th. When we started this will be our 12th year. So when we made a decision that we would take the last Saturday in July to have it every year, so that way people, because we started to see people started to say, we started to schedule our family union behind what you're doing. We schedule family events behind what you're doing because it's just a great event all the way around.
And that's going to be at Luke Easter Park, and that's going to be, Luke Easter Park is located on Kinsman Road, right between East 116th Street and East 93rd Street.
Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King and Kinsman.
Right at the corner of MLK and Kinsman. That's on the southeast side of Cleveland in the Mount Pleasant area, which is where you represent that on the city council. You had a big event last year.
Yes.
I mean, you had thousands of people people there. This is big. This is not just some little thing.
Oh, no,
This is big.
We're averaging between 20 to 25,000 every year, simply because these are national acts. It's a free event.
Yeah, Stephanie Mills is going to be there.
A ticket like
started
this.
in the WEWS many years ago.
Oh, yeah. You look at the fact that you got Stephanie Mills, Evelyn Champagne-King, and the SOS Band. You bring that ticket downtown, that's at least a $50 ticket.
Yeah.
Well, we're bringing it to Luke Easter Park free of charge, so you know people come out. So last year we had the OJs.
Yeah.
And we had about 20 to 25,000 people there. Years in past, we've had the Whispers, the Average White Band, Parliament Funkadelic with George Clinton. So it's a great event for people to come out, for families to come out. And that's why we call it Family Unity in the Park. This is a family-friendly event.
Is that was your inspiration when you started this, was to keep the family together, bring the family together and keep the family together?
Yeah, what we looked at is Luke Easter Park being the largest urban park, and it wasn't being utilized. I mean, in years past, the drug dealers, the gangs had taken it over. But thanks to Mayor Michael R. White and Odelia Robinson, they cleaned up the park. And then people weren't using it. It still had that bad reputation. So I said, I don't know what other days they're going to use it, but on this day, they are going to use it. And for the last 11 years, they've utilized this park to, like I say, bring in 20 to 25,000 people. And our quest was to bring families to the park. Because if we can bring families to the park on that one day, then they will come back and see the great things that are going on in the park, from football to basketball to the skating rink that's inside Zelma George. So it's just a great park. It's 144 acres. It's just a great park, great family-oriented event that we're going to have on Saturday, July 25th.
And all you need is a good weather. Well, rain or shine, we're going to do it. But,
yeah, these weekends with all this weather, it's not very good.
Well, but then we figured, I think the prediction is for pretty good weather on Saturday.
I'll hold you to
July
that,
the 25th. I'm doing all that I can, Zach. I wish I could control it, but I'm doing all that I can with that. You can get more information, by the way, if you go to thefamilyunityinthepark.com, thefamilyunityinthepark.com. And that's what you were thinking about when you started this some years ago, was just bring in good entertainment, clean entertainment, and everybody have fun.
Old school fun.
Yeah, old school fun. Well, Zach Reed, we appreciate you being on the broadcast, talking about this event. It's called at Luke Easter Park. It's Family Unity in the Park. Starts on July the 25th, which is Saturday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock in the evening. Fireworks, too, you said.
Fireworks also.
Oh, you got it all. And you had the OJs last year and Stephanie Mills this year.
You got it.
Yeah, you're going to be a big-time Broadway impresario before you finish up, my friend.
And thank you, Leon, for everything that you do. You're an inspiration to all us young African Americans trying to do the best thing we can in our communities, and we can always look to your professionalism, and thank you very much.
Thank you. We just try to do the right thing. I grew up in Cleveland. This is my town. This is my team, and the Cavaliers, the Browns, the Indians, and all of them, and I just love the city.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I love the city. Many thanks for being on the broadcast. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. This is Kaleidoscope. Up next, we're going to talk about summer on the Good Time 3, the cruise ship, smooth sailing in Lake Erie and on the Cuyahoga River after this. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope, and I'm glad to have you with me today. You know, with the warm weather now, the Good Time 3 is entertaining Clevelanders and visitors alike. Rick Fryan, president of the Good Time 3, is here to tell us all about smooth sailing on the Good Time 3 on the Lake Erie and the Cuyahoga River. What a wonderful entertainment boat it is. How you doing, Captain Rick?
Good, very good. Thank you, Leon, and thanks for having us aboard.
Oh, it's always good to have you. When I'm aboard with you, I'm in very good hands. And for somebody who may not know what the Good Time 3 is, who may be brand new to Cleveland or may be visiting, and they're downtown and looking for something to do, explain what the Good Time 3 is.
Well, we're a multi-purpose cruise ship. We do day sightseeing tours that are 2 hours. We do evening entertainment cruises. We're also available for private charter for corporate events, weddings, the Republican National Convention, perhaps.
We're going to talk about that in a second, and we've got some pictures you brought along, some video you brought along, and we can catch the Good Time 3 at the foot of East 9th Street. Go to East 9th Street and where it hits Lake Erie, and you're there. You can't help but see it. How long have you been doing this now?
This is my 29th year. And our company has actually been operating for 58 seasons now. It's an awesome way to see the city. We feel that we're a landmark, you know, something you have to do when you come to Cleveland. But our target market, believe it or not, is everybody.
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 I was on it a few years ago. I mean, I usually get on it once a year, maybe a couple of times a year, and I expect to get on it in the next couple of weeks or so. But I had a family reunion that we had in Cleveland, and everybody from all over the country in our family absolutely loved it. It was the highlight of our long, extended weekend here in Cleveland. People from all over the country, and so many people were really surprised at the size of Lake Erie. That always gets them.
I know.
They thought it was a little small thing, but it's a good-sized piece of water, as you well know.
Right.
What's been the reaction from other people other than my family?
I have to say, one of the most memorable events for me was in my younger years on the Good Time 2. The renaissance of the flats was happening, which of course it's doing again with the East Bank project and the Wolstein Group. But the fact is, this young lady, she was probably in her early 70s, and she was from Washington, D.C., and she kept grabbing me every time I'd walk by and asking me about this and that, and she was very impressed, and she was almost in tears, and she said, you know, I've never been to Cleveland. I've made fun of Cleveland my whole life, and now here I am, and I see how beautiful it is. And that's probably a reaction that I get. Maybe not as focused, but so many people come up to me and they're from out of town.
Yeah.
You know, they come to see the Rock Hall. It's a huge draw. And while they're here, they come down and they see the city with the Good Time.
I will tell you, when you get on the Good Time 3, for those of us who live in the city, it's a chance to see the city from a different vantage point.
Yes.
And you go underneath the bridges up the Cuyahoga River, then out into Lake Erie and see the city skyline. And it's like really seeing your city from a different vantage point. And if you've not done the Good Time 3, you ought to do it. And if you've done it already, then you really need to do it again. The Republican convention's coming in now.
Yes.
In 2016. They've already called you about booking time on the Good Time 3?
Oh, yeah. We'll be busy those days that they're in town, probably leading up to it, and they come in this August, so there's going to be a flurry of activity this August for people picking venues. So
we can have dinner, we can have lunch on the Good Time 3.
Yep, lunch, dinner. We also have a snack bar. We have the best hot dogs in Cleveland.
And you can be on deck in the sunshine and the air, or you can be below with the air conditioning and big windows.
You got it.
To look out. That's one of the things I really like about it. And I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful operation. You can get more information by going to goodtime3.com, goodtime3.com. Anything you want to leave us with? Tell me about the narrated tours, by the way.
Well, the narrated tours are the backbone of our business. And we take people up the Cuyahoga River and out on the lakefront. And we actually have redone the narration, and of course Larry Morrow. A lot of people think he's on board every cruise, but he's actually
long-time radio personality in Cleveland.
Yes, and he's been narrating the cruises since 1984.
I'm going to tell you, it's a wonderful, wonderful time, and a wonderful meal, and great music, dancing. You've got it all.
Oh yeah, the food's excellent.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, look at me.
You're eating aboard every day, huh?
Well, you know, hey.
Rick Fryan is captain of the Good Time 3. We appreciate you being with us. By the way, I'll put a phone number on the screen, 861-5110. That's in the 216 area code. Or you can go to goodtime3.com. You can get everything about the prices and all of that. It's a good time.
Thank you.
Good Time 3. Good to see you, Captain Rick.
Good to see you.
Always.
Thanks for having us, Leon, and it's a pleasure to be in your company.
We'll weigh anchor and have a good time.
We will.
Okay. All right.
Shoving off soon.
Okay. Look forward to that. I'm going to take a break. I'll be back with my good friend, Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland after this. Our partner on this broadcast is Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. I should say the partner is the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, and Marsha Maccabee is the president and the CEO of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Hey, Marsha.
Hey, Leon. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm okay. You always come with something vital to say, something important.
Well, thank you. And we so appreciate the opportunity that we have this forum to share those kinds of ideas. So, you know, as we sit here this morning and we are celebrating this Independence Independence Day weekend that we're having, you know, we can reflect on the recent events that just happened where we had the shootings in South Carolina and the issue with the Confederate flag needing to come down. And so I think it's just a time for us to really think about uniting under the one flag. Right. And as we think about all the issues that are raised as a result of what happened, that it is so time in this nation for a real conversation about race.
You think we're going to have that conversation? We say that all the time now. Are you think this is it? Have we reached that seminal point in time where it's now going to take place?
Okay, so for me the question is, how willing are people going to be to have the conversation? Don't know, but I think that there are those of us, especially among civil rights organizations and others, who are going to be pushing that agenda. So we are gearing up. Our national conference for the National Urban League is happening at the end of July. We're already preparing for talking points and ways to engage the community to begin these dialogues. So how ready we are as a nation for these conversations, I think, is the big question. But clearly, behind what's going on, it's time that we have to move this agenda.
The events that took place in Charleston, South Carolina, certainly may have been pushing us into this. I mean, that may come out of this, and that was just a horrible scene there, and just a horrible scene. But this may be prompting us to do what we need to do.
Absolutely, and wouldn't it be a shame that for all those people to have lost their lives, that something good not come out of that? So if something positive can move forward out of that, then it will have not been in vain.
Okay. Many thanks, Marcia Maccabee, always with something to say and words of wisdom. We appreciate that too, Marcia, and we love you too.
Thank you, love you too, Leon.
Take care.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.